Now, the NHS, on average, costs us around about £3,000 per person. That is actually more expensive than any private cover I've ever paid. But what the hell am I paying for? Remember before COVID, it was about a 4-hour wait to see anyone at A&E. It was just about doable. During COVID, the NHS turned into, in my view, a sort of religion. We clapped on cue for the bravery and hard work of the staff, which I wholeheartedly participated in. The slogan, stay at home, protect the NHS, save lives, was everywhere, even though I thought the NHS was meant to save me. But hey-ho, I went along with it in good faith. Then it became stay alert, which is pretty vague, control the virus, save lives. And then the last one, which I remember, was hands, face, space. The main goal of all of our efforts was to ensure that the NHS could cope, minimise our chances of getting sick, which makes sense, but ultimately was to make sure the NHS did not become overwhelmed. Roll on to now. Unfortunately, that tactic created just that, an overwhelmed NHS with a load of even sicker people because they didn't get help initially. They took heed of the advice during COVID, so now, when the NHS is fully functioning, good luck if you want a doctor's appointment sometime in the very near future. Don't go to A&E, was the message I recall. And if you want an ambulance, there are huge waiting times, somewhere around 15 hours or a few days in some cases. And when you do eventually get to hospital, if you haven't died waiting, you'll be backed up in a queue because social care is so badly organised that the well people who have nowhere to go are blocking the beds for the sick people. Coupled with the fact that those that work there are going on strike for inflation-busting pay rises, so more of our money. All that for the privilege of the false belief that the NHS is free at the point of need for everyone. It's not free. And I'm beginning to wonder what the hell I'm paying for. Because whilst there are huge waiting lists, that same hospital has a private arm that in many cases can service you in days if you're prepared to pay. The Observer revealed that NHS trusts with record waiting lists are promoting quick and easy private healthcare services at their own hospitals, offering patients the chance to jump year-long queues. Hospitals are offering hip replacements for 10 grand, cataract surgery for just over 2,000, and hernia repairs for £2,500, and MRI scans are offered somewhere between 300 to 400 quid. Let's take East Sussex Healthcare NHS Trust, which has thousands of patients waiting for diagnostic tests. It's offering fast access to scans through its private division. Great Western Hospital's NHS Trust in Wiltshire is warning patients that services are extremely busy, whilst its private division promotes self-paid treatment for those who don't want to wait for an NHS referral. The James Paget University Hospital's NHS Trust in Norfolk is advertising private services on its NHS website, stating, "We provide highly experienced consultant-led services without the waiting list." It goes on. One woman on Twitter wrote, "My 86-year-old mum will have to wait 2 years on the NHS or can see the same surgeon in the same hospital and be treated in 2 weeks for £1,200. How is that right?" Good question. Now, I have private medical cover which has to be paid for. I also have to pay a proportion of my income to the NHS and social care through my national insurance and pay for my prescriptions. The NHS is absolutely not free. And at the actual point of need, there's often no one free. For a service that is overwhelmed, it seems odd that if you're prepared to pay more, then you can be seen at the drop of a hat.